Hey, my neon lights, 'tis I, Midnight Neon, and I got a surprise for you. One I've been working on. I'm hoping this video will come out after my first ever live stream, but if it does, if things don't work out and I don't get to do a live stream per se, then I want to show you something I've been working on. It's something I was working on for the live stream itself. As you all might remember, I had made my very first model, and that is what I have now. But I have completely redone it. Changed a lot of different aspects about it. So, without any further ado, for you feet fans out there, ta-da! My shoes and my little feets. Yeah. I mean, I could have gone barefoot with this model, but I chose not to. But yeah, those are my shoes. Those are purple with a lighter shade of purple and black accents, and the soles are kind of like a blackish purple. And I got little ribbons on the back of them. And I am wearing white thigh-high socks, as you can see here. And then my skirt is a little bit longer than the original version, and it is plaid now instead of that stripe. I decided that, I wanted to go with something a little different. And of course you can see the puffy sleeves. And the plaid texturing, by the way, was... The texturing part, I couldn't do it myself. I tried and tried and tried. And I'm like, you know what, let's go through the Vroid catalog and see if and there it was, and I said, I can recolor that. I know how to recolor that, and that's what I did. So I kept the texture and just recolored it. Now, this top is exactly the same as the one I had on before. The only difference is in the sleeves. As you can see, whoops. As you can see, the sleeves are puffy now, and they have these little frilly cuff looking things. And of course now, there's my shoulders, and I got me tail, and I worked on the tail, by the way. Whoops, almost flashbanged you there. Anyway, the tail, I know where it's coming out here on the skirt, but it actually, if you were to remove the skirt, it actually sits up higher here in the back. And then I changed my jawline, and I managed to work the lips to where I have some makeup, and I worked on my fangies a bit so that they are now more prominent. And I worked on my face markings, and I'm sure you've seen my eyeballs, and I've changed my glasses too, and my hairstyle. I'm still a cat girl. But yes, and I still have like the hearts in my eyes, the little starry-eyed hearts. I upped the hold on, I'm having some issues with the glasses. The purple, I brightened it up a bit. And then on my other eye, I made it pink. I brightened the pink up. So now it's, I have an actual heterochromia now. Gotta put my glasses back on. That gets a little difficult for me. And now you can... Because I changed my glasses, the style of them, you can now see my eyebrows. As for my face markings, I darkened them, really. That's about all I did. Unfortunately, when I darkened them, it seemed to have faded out the blush I had on my face. And I put, like, purple lipstick on. Yes, I still have my pink hair. And I got my cat ears, and... Hold on, let me turn around. Hair ribbon. That's made out of my hair, I think, because That was kind of the options I had at the moment. But yeah, I worked on the jawline a bit and the chin a little bit. Um, so I redid them a little. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy, kitty cat. I got my model a little more fixed up with a little more detail. Oh, and that is not one of those things like how some VTubers have those like heart shaped things at the top of their head. I forgot the name of them. But in my case, that's not what that is. That's just one of the bangs sticking out. Apparently, I'm a messy haired cat. Um, and I did work on the elf ears a little bit. They are now poking out through the hair, so I'm still a half elf cat girl. Um, but yes, it's a remake of one of my original models, and the only way you can really tell it was one of my original models is the cat ears. The only thing that's different about them is they are a lighter shade of pink than they originally were, and so is my hair actually. But the ears for the have not changed any. They are the same. And I had worked on the cattail. Obviously, I've moved it about a bit so that I can avoid any more like clipping issues when I tilt my head. Uh, I did not get rid of my old models. They're still there, including the one that this was made off of. That's right. I took my old model and completely redid it to make it a lot nicer looking. And I've been working on something. Let's see if I can get it to work. Oh, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Check this out. Hey, hi everybody. Check out my fingers. Do 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 do. Whoa. I was supposed to do like a finger pistol, but that's okay. Hi. Hi. Do 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 do. I've been working on hand tracking. I don't know what it was about the older model. Hold on, I'm going to turn the hand tracking off. I don't know what it was about my older models, but they did not want to do hand tracking for nothing. And then I upgrade the original one that I made, and now I have this model. I call it the 2.5 because my first ever model was actually the hyper models that the app came with, which is fine when you're starting out, to be honest. Um, and then there is the fact that I did work on with those for a while, but so you could call those like my 1.0 models. And then the model that this one was originally based off of would have been like I guess you would say like my 2.0, and this one would be like a 2.5 because that's what it is. It was based off that. I've just completely upgraded it and fixed it and put more detail into it than it had before. No, I'm not getting rid of the other ones, but this one may become the more prominent one now. I wanted to do this. I'm hoping this will come out after my first day streaming debut. I would love to do that. I'm trying to get the internet. So if it does it and you guys see this one, this will be like, well, another debut for a model. But I have learned so much. And one of the things I have learned... Now, I have mentioned it before that I do watch Rev Says Desu, even though I know he's extremely controversial. And I really don't care. But what I want to point out is something I've noticed that a lot of people are going on about VTubers and VTuber models. And there was another thing, where VTubers are basically attacking one another over over the models. Like if you got a set of horns or cat ears or tail or whatever, and everyone's like, "Hey, you copied me! You copied me! No, you copied me!" It's stupid. I didn't copy anybody. I made a model that I felt represented me. Okay? I mean, yeah, it's sure, I'm a guy. I am a man. I am always going to be a man and not anything other than a man. But if I have to sit here all day looking at the same screen over and over again, yeah, I want something nice to look at. And that's what this is for me. And I put aspects of my real self into my model. Like, there is a reason why I like the color pink so much, and that is because it is very personal to me, and that is all I'm going to say. Um, you know, I like purples. I've always liked purples, even as a kid. Um, my immune system is weak, but not. I would not say that it keeps me from going out. I can go out and interact with people just fine. But like certain medicines, I'm extremely allergic to. They actually could, in high enough doses, kill me. And I'm also extremely deathly allergic to cats. I can't have cats. And that's why I am a cat girl on the internet. I love cats, but I can't be around them. And no amount of antihistamine, no amount of like Benadryl or Claritin or any other form of that medicine makes me immune to cat. I cannot do it. As much as I love cats, it's a no-no. So there are aspects of my real life self in here, like my glasses, the cat, the coloring. They represent me, not anyone else. I'm not copying someone, and I'm sure someone's going to be saying, "Hey, you caught that idea from me." Of course, they're going to say that. The answer is still no, I didn't. This is a me. This is who I am to some degree. But I am still always going to be a man. But when I have to sit and stare at a screen all day, yeah. I mean, you better be sure about that model, because this is, when people do this as a livelihood, I do this because I enjoy doing it. But when people do this as a livelihood, they better be prepared to sit there and stare at that same model all day. I mean, yeah, I can watch this. I can do green screen, and then, it's, blank back there. Then with just a few more clicks, audio, and oh, there's my Xbox. And what I see right now is my model standing in front of a green screen. But what you're seeing is my Xbox behind me instead. So as you can see, there's things that can happen. Hold on, I'm not even going to go through all that. I'm just going to turn off the chroma key now that I got that set up. And it'll just go back to there it is. But, I mean, when you have to sit there and you stare at things, like when I do reaction videos, it's the same thing. I got one screen, playing the video, and then I got, the other screen managing, like, either the OBS or the cat girl model, or sometimes I got, the model in the OBS on one screen, and then on the other it's the the YouTube or browser or whatever I'm using at the time for watching videos and stuff. But back to the Rev says Desu. The Rev says Desu. That's going to go to his ego. Anyway, back to what it was. It was on his video that says, "I am not sorry for what I'm about to say." Okay, now that's his video title. My comment that I left, all right, said because of what was in his video. This is what my comment said because I was reacting in the comment. I was reacting to two things that he had talked about. One is okay, so I have a thing I refer to as the Simpsons effect. It's where everyone else has done everything. There is no point in getting bent out of shape over anything. It's like that episode in South Park. They drove poor Butters nuts with the line, "The Simpsons did it." Or "The Simpsons did it first." Okay, so they drove the little kid nuts by, because every time you come up with an idea, they're like, "Oh, The Simpsons did it. The Simpsons did it." I call it the Simpsons effect because the Simpsons have been around for so long. Yeah, they technically have already done it. And that was the point that South Park was making when other people are like, "Hey, the Simpsons did this. Why is South Park doing it?" Well, that's because the Simpsons did everything already. How are they supposed to keep up with all of it? I mean, it's like stupid. So, anyways, I don't blame South Park and I don't blame the Simpsons, but it's just what I call the Simpsons effect because there are literally probably millions of VTubers at this point, and everyone has done just about every type of thing you can think of. To be honest, I love VTubers. I love anime and manga. I love the art. I love the style. I love some of the stories. I love all this stuff about it. And I think it's so stupid that we're fighting and arguing over who is what. This person's a dog girl. Well, that person's also a dog girl. Well, that they copied me. No, they copied me. Or it's like, stop it, stop it. And I do really dislike when someone does steal somebody else's artwork. It's not cool. It's not okay. But when you actually put effort in to make your model look different from everyone else's, and then someone accuses you of taking their stuff, well, yeah, I'm not going to pay you any credence because everyone else has done everything. So all this point of fighting over, they have horns, they stole my horns, it's stupid. And then I also wrote, okay, also, as I started doing VTubing, there is, as far as I know of, no pre-packaged, ready-to-go VTuber setup. I had to piece together my equipment setup. I had to go through a ton of different apps to find the right one, and I did it myself. In other words, there was no one to help me. I did this myself. As for doing this as a career, didn't cross my mind. I just wanted to make videos and have fun. There's no hidden agenda, no expectations, no reason other than I do it because I want to. There it is. I do it because I want to. So, those two things are together because they're related to VTubing. One is, hey, my fellow VTubers, knock off the horse crap. Okay, stop it. It's stupid at this point. Everyone has done everything. Just do your best to be different. I think what will get most people to notice you is no longer the model. Just about everybody has gigantic boobas now. Or they have, tiny little chibi blockhead models, okay? Stop it. Just stop all the fighting over the dumbest things. If you want people to notice you, be yourself. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and do something that gives people fun and entertainment. You know, if you're trying to be someone else, you're not going to succeed. And if you happen to have a model, like there's a model on YouTube, there's a VTuber that is looks a lot like Shy Lily, and they are both German, but they are not. They are not. Neither one is Shy Lily. Only Shy Lily is Shy Lily, and the other one is someone completely different. I can't even remember who she was because I only saw her in passing, but I was like, that looks extremely close to Lily's. And I said, wait a minute, that's not Lily. Who is that? And it's like, oh, okay. But they are actually a different thing because Shy Lily is like an orca cat, and this other one I think is like a shark. So, I they're very similar. They sound similar, but there is different in their tone of voice. I don't think either one's using a voice changer. I don't. I could. I mean, I got a. I don't have a voice changer. Like I didn't download one, but I got like a sound mixer, which if I were to run my mic through it, would allow me to, change my voice to whatever sound I like. I don't do that because I really just use my sound mixer when I do silly things. So, to my fellow VTubers out there, please stop. Stop being horses at rear ends, okay? If you want to behave like that, go somewhere where no one cares on the internet, okay? Because honestly, all you're doing is creating free content for other people. They're going to be like, oh, look at these two VTubers. They're fighting. They're so dumb, and they're exactly the same thing. When that's the whole point that they're fighting over. They think they're the same thing, but they're not. And I do not agree with stealing someone else's work and then pretending it's yours. That is wrong. That is just absolutely wrong. And then, for some people, this is their career. I get that. This is what they chose to do with their life. Most people that do that, they're doing it because, honestly, they have their own reasons. I couldn't begin to tell you why they're doing it. Some of them do it for the money. Some of them do it for the art. Some of them do it just to be silly, goofy people. But as for me, I just do it because I love it. I mean, this combines like multiple things that I love. I like cat girls. I like computers. I like video games. I like watching videos. How could I not naturally want to be a VTuber? I mean, I wanted to do videos for years, but was always afraid to do so because, honestly, those secrets are going to stay with me, I'm afraid. But know that becoming a cat girl on the internet has allowed me to become much more conversational in real life. I'm becoming more conversationally assertive. Like, I used to be so shy that I wouldn't say anything to anybody. I would just sit in the corner and disappear. I don't do that anymore. I can't help it. I love being a VTuber now. And I'm getting ready to do my first ever live stream. I'm hoping I'll do the live stream before this video comes out. But, there is no such thing as a prepackaged VTuber. Like, okay, I know there's going to be somebody that says, well, what about, like, the agency VTubers? Of course, the agency VTuber. Okay. Look, even an agency VTuber is not pre-packaged. Most agency VTubers are independents to begin with. Okay. A VTuber agency will see the VTuber and say, hey, this guy or this gal looks perfect for what we're trying to do. And then they usually work with that VTuber to create a whole new model and a whole new setup and a whole new thing. I mean, it's not prepackaged. They have to put effort into it. They have to get the computers. They have to get the equipment. They have to, probably do licensing for certain things. It's not prepackaged. I mean, you got prepackaged apps that can help you achieve certain goals, but that's not the same as prepackaged. Prepackaged means you got everything. You got a computer, you got a camera, you got a microphone, got a mouse, got a video capture card. You've got whatever, all packaged, ready to go, and there you go. You're prepackaged. You got your model. You got your garbage. Ha ha ha. That's not how it was for me, and I suspect that's probably not how it was for a lot of VTubers. A lot of VTubers start out like I probably did. Like, it was given to me free, but it was still a crappy, cheapy, low-budget computer. I mean, back in its day, it was probably top of the line, but today's standards, not so much so. Okay, so, somebody gave me that computer, and it gave me my start. Then, I went and bought myself like a tiny travel monitor, and I used that largely to play the Xbox on when I do gaming, so that I can use the curved monitor that I have to run my OBS while the computer is running the model. So even though the computer is technically running both the OBS and the model, it just makes it easier to monitor everything. To know that, my CPU usage is 2.3, 2.4%. And to know, like, what's creating what sounds and noises. Like, right now, my ceiling fan's probably going wop, 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 wop. And I really don't care if it does, because I don't have any music for the background right now. So it creates a little background noise. I'm sure it might be annoying to some, might be relaxing to some. I'm just used to it, so I don't even know it's there. But it's a mess because people are getting so selfish and self-centered. It's like, let it go, dummy. Let it go. Don't make me sing that god-awful Disney song. But also, let it go. I mean, I probably could have done that, but it could have been more like, let it go. Yeah, let it go. But, So, my fellow VTubers and V-tweeters and V-haters, or whatever you want to call yourselves, stop. Just stop. I know there's always going to be haters. It comes with the territory when you do this. And it's not just for VTubers, by the way, the haters. I mean, even IRL streamers have their haters. I was watching, like, a podcast called Distractable with, like, Markiplier, Bob, and Wade, and they were talking in one of them about how, they got people that hate on them, and Mark's like, I just let it roll off me most of the time because, it's not like a big deal. Because it just comes with the territory. So just got to get used to it. But the thing is, by the way, I loved that episode too. It's one of their older episodes, and it was before they started using their real faces, because in their first early episodes, it was on Spotify, so they didn't really have, like, visual cues. But when they brought it over to YouTube, they used like little PNG characters. It was funny. And I have to admit, I think that was one of Wade's better episodes. I can't repeat what he said because that will get me in trouble with YouTube. But the point is, the name of the episode was called FU Energy. If you want to look it up, just look distractible FU Energy in there, and it'll search for you. But my point is, all this behavior is stupid. People, please just stop. Okay, just stop. Enjoy doing what you're doing. And if you don't, then maybe being a VTuber wasn't the thing for you to do. Okay, here's something Alright, I don't know if I ever posted this or not, but I'm going to do it again here. Okay. A while back, I was just cruising through, and I had just started VTubing. It was probably like my first or second month. And I found I think it was a YouTube short. It's probably been around for years, and I just didn't realize it. But this guy was telling people that they can't be VTubers because it's costing people like $30,000 or $20,000, or VTubing is expensive. No one can be a VTuber. BS, dude. I call BS. I got lucky, and yeah, someone gave me a free computer to help me get my start, but now I got a new one, and I paid for that baby. But here's the thing. I'm calling BS on that line because my model, the one I made, I did through the VRoid Studio app, and that is where it lets you make your own free model. Now, yeah, you can probably pay for the DLC extra stuff, which I may end up doing so I can try and get better costumes or whatever. But for right now, I made my own model, and it has a pretty decent outfit. Didn't cost a darn thing. All it cost me was time and effort. The Hyper Online VTuber Avatar app, that was free. I didn't have to pay for the Pro package, but I did because it gave me better stuff. But if I had known about the VRoid Studio, I probably could have just made my own models and not paid for the Pro package, but I did pay for the Pro package, so I don't care. And, a lot of people pay for the Pro package because of this. Not that. That's the wrong thing. Come on. Where is it? Oh, here it is. There. A lot of people pay for the Pro package because of that watermark there. You know what? I don't care. I'll leave it right there. Hyper has helped me get here. They did. They helped me reach this point. So yes, I am going to say, hey, if you're looking to become a VTuber and use a 3D model, Hyper Online VTuber app is a great starting point. You might change your mind later on, but the thing is, if someone makes you a 3D model that you really like, and it's got like all these cool glowy parts and flames and, sexy outfit and all that, and the whole jiggle physics thing, you can download that and you can download the app, and then you can import that model that someone made for you. Or you can do what I did and get the VRoid Studio app and make your own model and import it over. I mean, seriously, it's not the end of the world. Excuse me, I'm getting a little too ranty. It means I'm running out of oxygen. Let me get a quick drink here. Dr. Pepper. Actually, it's Diet Dr. Pepper. Anyway, it's just silly, all that stuff. It's just silly and stupid. Some people can't live without the drama. Their lives are so miserable and so boring that they have to cause drama for everybody else. Hey. More power to them, I guess. I mean, I guess what do I know? I'm just a silly, stupid kitty on the internet. But, hey. Stupid, silly kitty or not, I got a pretty good channel going so far. And I call my viewers my neon lights. Especially my subscribers. So, and that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. I'm certain I may have talked about it already. So if you're a man or a male of the human species, and you're thinking of becoming a VTuber, just remember it's actually harder for men to get into VTubing. And if you want to become a VTuber with some serious recognition, because I don't have any, I got like 23 subscribers. That does not make me king of the VTubers. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It just means you have 23 subscribers, okay? But if you're really interested in, doing that, I noticed it's harder for men to get into it. Like, one of my favorite VTubers, and I know she's also controversial right now because she made a lot of people mad with her ice joke. Cha-Cha, your V-Mom. You know what's funny? I feel like because she is a genuine Latina, she has every right to make any joke about ice that she wants. She really does. She has the right to, more than a lot of these other people who are doing it. So, for her haters, I hate to tell you, but she does, to be honest, she should be allowed to make as many jokes about it as she wants. But anyway, just don't tell the blue eyes white Latina. I know her cutie pies are calling her that a lot. That's her chatters. Just don't tell her, I know she's going to eventually find out one day. She'll be like, who is this idiot with the pink hair? But anyway, I've lost my train of thought. I'm too worried about Cha-Cha coming after me with the chocolate. Oh my god, she's gonna find me one day and hit me with that shoe. I'm gonna end up with I really will be a stupid kitty on the internet. Anyhow, Cha-Cha. I love you. Please don't kill me. Right. I've totally lost my train of thought. I'm now too worried about that. But, right. Yes, male VTubers. If you want to be a male VTuber, my recommendation is, if you're serious about it, make sure you really want to do it. It's a lot of dedication, a lot of work, but it can be very well worth it. And there are free models out there. You just have to really dig through a lot of stuff. In my case, with the Hyper Online VTuber Avatar app, I got lucky because, they had a bunch of free use models. But you cannot claim them as your own. That is one thing I won't do. I will not claim them as my own. They were indeed Hyper's models. This model you see me using now, this is mine. Because of the way the VRoid Studio app is set up. when I go to export or save this model, I have to put in information in which actually registers the model as mine. It may be registered through VRoid Studio, but it's still registered to me. So if somebody wants to use my model, they have to have my permission. I am very protective over this particular model. Because, it's basically my baby. I make this myself. Is my head nodding every time I blink? Kind of. It's alright. Anyway, but as you are a male VTuber or wanting to become one, make sure you're comfortable with your model. Do your best to make it your own. If you hire someone to make you a model, which is expensive and well beyond my means, make sure you're going to be dedicated to it, because you're going to have to put in a lot of effort. You got to make videos on a regular basis. It's kind of hard for me too right now because I'm going through a lot of family troubles. So I got to deal with a lot of that. But if you're going to do this, it does take dedication. You do have to make a lot of videos. And I would suggest you stick to one platform and one platform only. I am doing YouTube mainly because, one, I don't care about getting paid for doing my videos. I just like making my videos. And two, honestly, I think Twitch is not a good place for male VTubers. It really isn't. And I think it has a lot to do with, I guess, the owner or the CEO, Dan Clancy. I think he set an industry standard that shows that if you are a pretty enough IRL streamer, you can pretty much get away with anything. It's a shame, but it's kind of obvious. I know there's Kick. I don't know much about it. I've heard either really good things or really horrible things about Kick. So there is that. And then, I prefer YouTube just because for the things I do, it works well enough. I don't always agree with some of their TOS, but it's their platform and I have to abide by their rules. But yeah, like if you're, God, okay, if you're a male VTuber, your platform options are really actually kind of limited. But if you choose to go with, like the aforementioned ones like YouTube, Twitch, and Kick or whatever, I don't recommend TikTok. TikTok's just brain poison and rot. But I do, however, recommend that once you pick a platform to start on, stick with it. Because for guys, it actually is hard for them to do multiple platforms, whereas and Twitch has some serious problems. Like, I noticed if you're a female IRL streamer, you can get away with practically anything on Twitch. But Lord forbid if you are a female VTuber streamer and you show just a little bit of hip or a little bit of cleavage on your booba, God forbid, you're going to get like a 3-day to a lifetime ban. I do not get this double standard. They got women that are practically almost completely bare. And yeah, a VTuber shows just a little bit of cleavage or booba and it's immediate punishment time. It's like, seriously? I hear about it all the time from every female VTuber I've ever seen that streams on Twitch. And they do both Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, I hear about it because they complain about it. It's a problem that many people are complaining about it. So there is clearly some issues with Twitch. What those are, I couldn't begin to tell you because I don't use Twitch. And two, I don't know anyone that works for them. So I couldn't even begin to guess what the problem is. But the most obvious ones are the people that are complaining about it. So, since I'm a YouTube kitty, I don't care about Twitch. And I do notice that I do kind of get into the role a little bit, especially when I'm playing games and I got like some creepy monster trying to kill me or something. And I'll start going, no, 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 no. Or sometimes I'll be like, meow, we're going to do this. And, like I'm trying to say meow when I'm doing this stuff. But I guess I get a little too into it. But yeah, it. I can't help myself. I am what I am. A partially blind cat on the internet. Anyhow, just kind of chill out, everybody. Alright? Chill out. Take it easy. Quit accusing each other of everything. And I hope to see you all on my first live stream soon. That's if this comes out before the live stream. If it comes out after, well, I'm glad for you to see my little video that I made. So, bye-bye, everybody. And remember, my neon lights, always shine brightly in the darkness, because that darkness is getting pretty darn dark out there and needs a lot of bright light to shine on it. All right. Bye-bye.